Coming to you live Monday night. It's getting close to about 10 o'clock. Sage, I think this is the worst loss of the Warriors season. In an opportunity where they could have went one game up on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have been on the Warriors' ass all year, they fall to the Denver Nuggets with no Nikola Jokic, no Jamal Murray, 114-105. Sage, they looked flat all night. It looked like at the end there they were maybe going to get something going to get a comeback, but Aaron Gordon was just too much. They lose, and just disappointing. Disappointing across the entire board.
I mean, you felt it from the opening tip. They came out with no aggression, no passion. There was no energy in the building whatsoever. And just from the jump, like, you just saw it. Like, they were flat. They were doing the things that the old Warriors did. It literally felt like a game from the pre-Jimmy Warriors. Like, it was so frustrating.
Yep.
But it's so predictable. Like, Steve Kerr said it. He said, like, you'd almost rather Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, those type of guys be out there. Obviously, Richard Jefferson said it in the broadcast, like, as a player, you wouldn't, because you know you could chill and win, but you just don't bring your best effort. They didn't bring their best effort. They tried to, do a KD Warriors. We're going to fuck around for 3 quarters and try and pull it together at the end. It didn't work. Killed yourself every opportunity you had, and you lose a game you had to have. And now you have a tough back-to-back after playing your guys a full load, and you got to win tomorrow now. Did yourself no favors.
You did yourself no favors. Like I said, even though you've been on what was it, Sage? What was it, about an 8-game winning streak here?
7-game winning streak here.
7-game winning streak. You didn't gain any ground on the Minnesota Timberwolves, so you're still in that range. Again, put back into the play-in. They lose today. I didn't watch that game, Sage. It looked like a crazy game. Timberwolves versus the Pacers, but they dropped today in a game where the Pacers didn't even play their guys. So you had an opportunity to take advantage of Nikola Jokic taking a rest day, and you weren't able to do it. I think that Steph Curry, I don't want to say he was the reason that we lost the game, but I think he ended up with about 9 or 10 turnovers, and everyone was uglier than the last one, especially with that last one where they were trying to come back. Jonathan Kuminga's not even looking. He throws an alley-oop to him, and
it wasn't even an alley-oop.
Okay, this is just not our day. Russell Westbrook is just cashing clutch threes throughout the entire fourth quarter. Steph Curry's turning the ball over, not able to hit wide open threes. You just knew it wasn't your night at that point.
I mean, for as many big shots as he's hit this season and as many games he's won us, kept us in, like, he destroyed us. Like, I hate to say it, Steph's my guy. He destroyed us, man. I said it in the second quarter. I said, damn, that was the first run of momentum we had. He throws a horrible, like, a left-handed, like, across the body turnover, tries to throw it across the court. I forget who it was. One of their 2K generated players just steals it, gets a layup on the other end. In the fourth quarter, we're driving, whatever, throws the ball clean off Kuminga's shoes. Makes no sense. And then that line drive underhand lob while Kuminga's contested. I mean, they fought, and it just like, I give him, like, if we're doing blame pie, he's 60%. Like, in my opinion, he's getting 60% of the blame tonight.
I think he was definitely the worst player on the court for the Warriors today, Sage, but they didn't play good. They didn't play any good. They shot 24% from 3. The free throws. I mean, what the fuck happened with the free throws? That came out of nowhere. I think they started off 2 of 9. They ended up only shooting 50% from the line, but Aaron Gordon, was this the best game that Aaron Gordon ever played in his career? Ex-Midi guy coming back home to the Bay Area. When he sat in the third quarter, I think he had about, 34 points already? 32. He only chipped in 4 at the end there, but he got that last kind of game-sealing bucket. Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook were what stood out to me. They just wanted it. They wanted it a lot more than the Warriors, and not only do you kind of get the aspect where Nikola Jokic isn't playing, so the Warriors may be resting on their laurels, the Nuggets just got their ass kicked by the Washington Wizards. So you knew they were going to come into this game fired up, because Michael Malone's a hard ass, and I bet you he ripped into them after that game. So they came to play today. They dominated the Warriors on the rebounds, and they just shot better. They were the better team tonight. And for me, it's scary, because you realize that if you have to play the team in the playoffs, you looked like the worst team today. just think about when they add Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Christian Brown.
You haven't beat this team since 2022. The last time you beat this team was game 5 when you sent them home before you won a championship. It's been that long since you beat the Denver Nuggets. Tonight was supposed to be your night to, end those demons. They gave you a layup. And what does that say about your team, right? Like, you have to have this game. The Nuggets essentially punt it. Like, Jokic looks fine. Murray looks fine on the bench. Christian Braun, I don't even know why he didn't play. They said, you know what? We're good. We're gonna take this one off. And they still beat you. They out-effort you. They out-hustle you. I mean, the defense wasn't there, right? Like, when you're playing a team that really can't score, how do you let them in the game? Turnovers, let them score in transition. You did that all game. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. They're getting out in transition on you. I mean, how many times do I have to watch the Warriors get a turnover and just throw it down court to contested Jimmy Butler just for it to come back right the other way? Like, they're throwing jump balls to this guy like he's Randy Moss. Like, I get it. He's going to win 50% of them.
Yeah.
But you can't be spamming it all game. Like, when it doesn't go your way, it's terrible. So you're doing it across the court. I mean, Draymond did it a few times. Steph was doing it all game.
That was all Draymond did, I think, in the fourth quarter there. They were just setting him up on a smaller guy. It's like, okay, I get it's a mismatch, but we got to do something different. We can't just keep on going back to this every single fucking time we're going down the court.
And they were generating good shots, too. That was so frustrating because nothing was going our way. It felt like the officials weren't going our way. Free throws, 15 for 27, 55%. 8 for 33 from 3, 24%. You couldn't get anything in the paint. They felt bigger than you. You had Payne Watson blocking your shots. Aaron Gordon was a menace in the paint. Just felt like you couldn't get anything on offense. It was so stagnant and just no passion, no aggression. They took this game for granted. They saw with the lineup, they knew exactly what was to come, and they just fucked around and they found out. So that's what happens, man. It's the NBA. It's the NBA. This isn't Michael Jordan's NBA. Like, everyone could win, anyone could shoot on any given night, anyone could beat you. I mean, they have their 3 best players resting, but they still have Aaron Gordon, MPJ, Russell Westbrook. I'm not going to say that's a good team, but that's a team that could win if you give them the opportunity. You gave them every opportunity. They're an NBA team. They got hot. They played with aggression, and they out physicaled you in the paint. They were grabbing rebounds at the end. I mean, Aaron Gordon just missed layup, grabbed the rebound. He threw one off the backboard, just grabbed it to himself. Thought he was about to go like 2012 Miami Heat LeBron on us. And they just felt so much bigger than us, so much stronger than us. And they were down to their 4th and 5th string guys. So it just says a lot, man. You thought this shit was behind you, and it's clearly not. But like we said, it's the NBA.
It's the NBA. This was a classic letdown spot, so I'm not going to be the guy to try to overreact. But the one lingering thing I'm going to take from this game is that the size might be an issue. And Sage, the group chat was going crazy. This was a crazy group chat game. I mean, no one could have expected this game coming, but for the past I'd say about the past week or so, we started sleeping on the Nuggets a little bit. We talked about how bad they were on defense, how, maybe they
were better defensively because they didn't have those guys. That was the thing, is them not having Jokic and Murray helped their defense so much.
Well, we were lining it up, Sage. We were looking at the West, and we're like, okay, look at the Lakers. Look at the OKC Thunder. Like, I think if anything, we want to play the Nuggets. We don't want to be anywhere near this team. They have our number. If we can't beat them in this game, we don't want anything to do with the Denver Nuggets, and we just got to hope that we avoid them because I have faith that the Warriors are going to be able to get past the fact that they don't have size. I know that you're playing Jimmy and Draymond at the 4 and 5, but it seems like against this team, that's when you really get exposed. And you saw it on the boards all night tonight. Second chance opportunities. I mean, I think the offensive rebound was about 18 and 9. Gordon got the last bucket there. So the size was an issue all day, the effort. And I'm not going to overreact, but if anything, I would take that away, that maybe the size when we get down to the playoffs is going to be a major concern, which we all expected, but you saw it for the first time since Jimmy Butler came today.
I was just about to make the point that I'm not going to overreact until I see how they come out and respond tomorrow. And then I get the alert that they're going to rest Steph tomorrow. So,
well, yeah, no, that was the thing, Sage, because when you put in Steph Curry today when he was questionable, I think Steve Kerr just said, okay, they got no Jokic, they got no Murray. Let's just split. Let's just split this back-to-back. We're going to just try to beat their ass today when they don't have their 3 best players. So this is, for this back-to-back, I mean, it's a catastrophic loss because you're basically going to punt the game tomorrow to the Bucks. You're probably you're risking going back into the play-in situation. So this one stung. This one stung for sure.
I mean, I think the Timberwolves losing today did you a little bit of a favor. I mean, you don't move forward, but you don't move backward, right? The lead to second and third and fourth and fifth gets a little more, separated, but you don't lose any ground to the Timberwolves when you could have gained ground, which is nice. But just looking at it from all aspects, man, like you look at the 2 losses, that's what's so frustrating is you lose to the Sixers with no Embiid. Basically, Paul George doesn't show up, no Maxey. You lose to the Nuggets, no Jokic, no Murray. It's just like that's what's frustrating about this team is the way they just like kind of just don't give a fuck at times. Like that's what's frustrating is it's like these games. It's the NBA. We get it. There's 82 games, but goddamn, take care of business, man, because you dug yourself into this hole. You got to climb out of it. Like the time for messing around, your room for error, as they say, is nil. You got to take advantage when you got it because now you have a tough stretch ahead of you, and you got to start beating good teams. You got to start putting together dubs.
I don't think it was a situation where they didn't give a fuck. I think that they just got jumped on right away, and they thought they were going to be able to pull themselves out of it. And with the Warriors, they always look to Steph Curry to be able to do that. He just did not have it tonight. Jimmy tried his best. I mean, I think the only two positives that I could take from this game is that Jimmy Butler is a fucking dog. He tried to keep them in. I mean, he missed the 2 free throws. He's like going to his back, looking like he got injured pretty bad. And then he just jumps over GP2 to get the rebound. He was great all night. GP2, incredible. I don't know what his final stats were. Let me pull them up right now. But I know they had 16 points at one time, and he was 7 for 7 from the field.
Want me to give them to you?
And Jimmy, yeah, so pull it up.
So he had 18 points, 3 rebounds, and assists, 3 steals, and a block. So 3 steals and a block is what stood out to me because he felt like he was everywhere on defense, like blocking shots, stealing the ball. Like his hands are always everywhere. Him and Iguodala, man, they just got hands that you'll never see again in your lifetime. I swear to God. Ever since we had GP2, like ever since 2022 when we called him up, he's been such an integral piece in these huge games. Like, no, it's crazy for how limited he is on offense. You never really feel it because of how athletic he is and how well he plays around the rim. And then on defense, he's always making plays, being the key guy, the guy to get stopped. So it's very rare I walk away from a game and say like, man, GP2 didn't show up today. It feels like every time he has like big minutes, he's always showing up, making winning plays. Like just an integral part to have on the team. It's just everyone else around him let him down today.
Yeah, and I think for the past 2 weeks, we brought it up on the last podcast, but he's been a lot better shooting from the 3-point line and even around the rim. Like he's deadly around the rim. He just finds the spots and he's just like a hound. He knows like he's got a good eye, good head for the ball, and it seems like he's always able to find ways to score around the bucket. But the one thing that I'm looking back on now after looking at the stats, what happened with Quentin Post? Steve Kerr starts him today, only plays 8 minutes, 2 or 3 from the field. I don't know. I didn't see Quentin Post play that bad. Was he maybe getting dominated on the offensive defensive boards? Why did Kerr go away from Quentin Post? That's something that I didn't see at the time, but now I'm realizing it.
What happened was in that first quarter, right? When we started to, because he subs out, when we started to make that run, I think like what was evident on the broadcast was that the Warriors could actually get whatever they want in transition. The Nuggets are slow. Like they're a slow, unathletic team. You got Russ, who's clearly past his prime. MPJ, that white guy, what was his name? I'll pull it up here. Tyson, Hunter Tyson or whatever.
The guy from Clemson, yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, you were listening to the ESPN broadcast?
Yeah. Were you on NBC Sports?
Yeah, Fitz and Buki did not have a good day today. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I kind of wish that I watched the ESPN broadcast.
You really only have Gordon, but he's around the paint, so when the Nuggets were missing shots, which it was tough for them to do when they missed a shot and you get the board, the Warriors were trying to push it. So I think Kerr just leaned into that, but it takes away from your rim protection, it takes away from your rebounding, and it takes your size off the court. And a shooter that you could have used today, right? Like all those things he could have provided. You decided, you took a gamble, you played without him. Clearly, it didn't work out. I just think the Warriors got what they deserved. I said it, like they didn't deserve to win this game. You play like that, you got to learn your lesson, sleep in the bed you make. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like you look at it, Russell Westbrook played 42 minutes tonight, gave him 12, 12, and 16. Like what the fuck?
Come on. You know that this was the perfect Russell Westbrook game. When no one's expecting anything, there's no Jokic, there's no Jamal Murray. It's like, hey, Russ, just go crazy. Go crazy. And that's exactly what he did. I think he was about 1 for 7 from the field until late into the fourth quarter, but he had 14 dimes. He was playing hard D. I know that Russell Westbrook's not the best defender, but at least he's fucking moving his ass on the defensive side of the ball. And then I think he had 3 threes late in the game, so it's just like, of course. And then he's like showboating at the end there. I'm like, this sucks. This fucking sucks.
Yeah, he was probably so happy when he saw no Jamal, no Jokic, primetime game against the Warriors. He's like, all right, he's like, Russell's time to shine. He's like the guy from Longest Yard, Brucey. He's like, all right, Brucey's time to shine. Like, he knew it. As soon as he steps into this game, he's like, he knows that he's going to get every minute he wants, any shot he wants. I got to give it to him, though, man. He was making some fucking passes, finding guys in the lanes, cutters, guys in the paint. Like, I thought he was, like, for as well as Gordon played tonight, I thought Russ was their best player. Hit the big 3 to kill.
No way. Come on. It seemed like Aaron Gordon had every opportunity. When Aaron Gordon, I think it was, so I don't know if, like, so he caught in transition. He caught a ball on Steph, and then he just went out to the three-point line just in transition, shot a 3 ball.
Yeah, that was one of Steph's awful turnovers.
Wet. I'm just like, oh, my God. Okay, this is like a different Aaron Gordon. Like, I've never seen this Aaron Gordon play. So
the dude is rejuvenated, and he wasn't supposed to play either. God, dude, I wish he didn't.
It was the best game of his career. This was definitely this was a classic like Washington Wizards, Russell Westbrook like performance today though. Just high energy, not efficient at all, but somehow it gets the job done, and they get a triple double at the end of it.
I just can't understand it with this team sometimes. Like, it's so fucking frustrating as a fan. Like,
Are we being bitches though? Are we being bitches? Like, they just came on an 8-game win streak. They're 14-1 in the past 15. You were due for a letdown game, and it sucks that it was in this game where you could have went up another game on the Timberwolves.
Sam Jones and Kankar, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Kanchar, yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you're better than that. You're just like, that's the thing is, like, you want to be on this upward trajectory. It's like, you know, when you're in the moment, you never see this team losing. And for it to happen to I would have been fine if it happened to the Nuggets fully loaded. It'd be like, damn, that was disappointing, but we went toe to toe with them. It's like, this was like you have nothing to gain from this game, right? You could only lose, and you lost the absolute most from this, right? Like, you beat them, who cares? You lose to them, it's a catastrophe, and you lost, and now it's a catastrophe. It like kills all the momentum you gained.
I don't know about that. I don't know if it kills all the momentum that you gain. I think it's going to hurt definitely when we probably lose tomorrow, but I'm definitely concerned that we're going to be able to beat this team in a series. Especially, they're going to have home field advantage. That's a tough place to go, Sage. I mean, we all know going up to the Mile High City is tough to go. Nikola Jokic is he's our bugaboo. He's our Michael Myers. We just do not want to play him. He cooks us every time. And they didn't have Jamal Murray or Christian Brown either. So I would like to chalk it up just as a game where you didn't have the energy. It was a letdown spot. But I think that this team does provide issues that we really can match.
I mean, I agree. And we didn't even see it in full go. Like you said, Jokic always eats our lunch. We have guys that throw at Murray, but when Michael Porter Jr. is your third biggest player, he's playing the 3, you're going to go Gordon at the 4, who you saw what he could do to us as the only big. And that's the thing is they found something tonight. They know now when they play the Warriors in those non-Jokic minutes, they're going to run things through Aaron Gordon because he's going to give us fits, right? Because if it's not Draymond out there, you have no one who could go up against him. And they have something that they could keep attacking the paint. I think in a 7-game series, this is the one Russ game. Like you said it, it's funny. We're talking about it today. You said Jokic wins you 2, and you need the role players to just take you 1 or 2 more. And this would have been that game where it's like, damn, like it was 2-1. You had this game, but the role players, like Russ gives you a crazy performance, and you feel like all year the Nuggets aren't good enough to win, but then it's just how it works out. Like, Jokic is going to take care of business. But then you have the Aaron Gordon 30-point game, the MPJ 25-point game, whatever. Because MPJ was actually carrying it that first half. The dude couldn't miss. I think he was like 7 for 9.
When he can't miss, Sage, it looks good. When he can't miss, it's like, dude, this guy is long, this guy's tall, and he just fucking cashes threes. And Gordon too. I mean, when those two are going, it's going to be hard to stop this Nuggets team. Even though we know that they've had issues on defense, it's going to be hard to stop for sure.
Yeah, it's so funny because I've tried to look for every reason to write them off, and then when I see them against they'll drop a game against the Wizards, whatever, they'll look like shit against the Lakers sometimes, but when they play the Warriors, they play their A game, and it's like, this is why I fear them. This is why I don't want to see them.
Definitely not. We don't want to see the Denver Nuggets anytime soon. I think we got about 3 games now with Jonathan Kuminga coming back. A little bit of a shaky start, I thought. I thought he was a little bit. He didn't look into it on defense. Had a couple bad turnovers. Was settling for a couple corner threes that he bricked, but Seemed like he turned it on a little bit later into that game where the Warriors got it to, I think it was about 97-94 with about 6 minutes left. He got a couple nice steals, made a couple buckets, got to the line a couple times. What's your assessment of Jonathan Kuminga right now? Because I think it's been a little bit mixed, in all honesty, for me.
Dude, that Kings game was so promising, and then today he just looked lost in that first quarter. I mean, that first stretch he had, his first stint, it was brutal. He looked lost on the court. He was just like clogging the passing lanes, like dribble, kind of try to back his guy down, wouldn't work, passed out. I got to pull it up. In that first quarter, I mean, he was 0 for 2 from the line, 0 for 1 from the field. He had 2 rebounds, but he was a +8. And I saw that. I was like, that's so weird. Like, I guess he's having an impact. Steve Kerr saw it and rode with the small lineup all game. I think his athleticism and his ability to get out in transition was giving the Nuggets fits because of how fast like he could be and how explosive he is in the open court. But the Warriors just didn't have those opportunities. And then you saw it in the fourth. They built some momentum, getting it to Kuminga, and he was able to get to the line a few times, try and get to the rim. But ultimately, it just wasn't enough. I mean, when the guy can't hit a shot, the Nuggets don't have to defend him. They already don't have to defend Kevon Looney. And he becomes kind of a negative on the court at times when he's not defending well, he's fouling, and he's turning the ball over. And you saw that in the first half.
When he's not aggressive and getting to the bucket, it's an ugly watch. It's an ugly watch. When you see him just pull up from three or just doesn't really have any initiative to go hard at the bucket, he's a negative. He's a negative, even though he does give you that aspect on defense. Like I said, though, he did pick it up in the second half, so it's not all bad news. Jonathan Kuminga played well at the end of the game. This was a classic Buddy no-show.
Of course.
No-show. I think he was, 1 of 4. Did he even hit a shot? He had an opportunity, I think, to get it down to what? To get it down to maybe
3?
About 4. Yeah, get it down to 3. Wide open. Just clanked it. Not a good Buddy game either. Honestly, not a good game from anybody on the bench, I thought, other than GP2. The bench really didn't show up
been
today.
showing up. Man, do you know who they missed tonight?
Who? Podziemski.
Brandon Podziemski, man. That guy shows up, hustles every single night. This would have been a perfect game for, you know what, we're low energy. Let's run shit through pods. The Energizer Bunny. This was a game you needed that guy, man. Like,
especially with Steph. Like, just Steph running the show today was a fucking nightmare. He just did not have it.
Like, if Pods is playing tomorrow, man, dude, I love Pods. Like, I hated so much how much hate he was getting at the beginning of the season and how much I think it impacted him mentally, that I just think that now that he's turned it around, he's become such a key piece, and not having him, it's so evident. Like, on defense, when Steph's out on the court, just the hustle, taking charges, creating turnovers when you don't expect it. Like, oh, Aaron Gordon's going to the 10. Here's a free 2 points. No, charge, going the other way. Like, shit like that. Like, your version of Russ almost, where it's the spark that you need when your best players aren't there. And the Warriors just haven't had it. Like, Moody's been doing his best to provide it, but Moody's not a high energy guy. He does the little things, but he's not going to, lift the team up. He's going to take charges, get on the floor, but you need that guy like Podziemski.
You there, Sage? Sorry, you tuned out for a little bit.
I cut out there. I just said they've been missing his energy, man. Like, they just don't have it. They feel old without him, genuinely.
With me, with no Podziemski in there, the rotation gets to a point where you got to put in guys like Guy Santos.
Dude, that was on Kerr. That was on Kerr, man.
Well, I don't know, Sage. I mean, I feel like you do have to play him when you don't have Podziemski in there. You got to have at least 9-10 guys on the rotation. But it's scary having him out there because especially when you have him and Draymond on the court at the same time, those are just two guys who can't do anything by themselves offensively. They just can't create anything. And I get it. He plays hard. Everybody loves that part of his game, but he's really just not talented enough, especially when you're down like 10 points like we were today. He's not a guy that you want in there when you're trying to make a comeback. I don't know. That kind of hurt me too. I thought that Guy was definitely not a bright spot today for the Warriors.
No, I 100% agree. I mean, I just don't understand what he brought. He was fouling. He wasn't grabbing rebounds. He was last man back on defense. It just felt like he doesn't have he had a purpose for one game. He was the Energizer Bunny for one game. But after that, I just don't understand like what he's doing on this team, getting minutes over guys like Quentin Post. I'd like to see Kevin Knox over him. Genuinely, like at least someone who could shoot a 3. How about just extending Moses Moody's minutes instead? How about, giving anyone else some run? Like, I don't understand what this guy brings. Like, I understand he has energy, whatever you want to say, but he can't handle He's not a post player. He's not like grabbing rebounds. Like, fuck, I'd rather just have Quinn Post out there at that point.
He gives me Anthony Lamb vibes, where for some reason Kerr just loves him. He brings the energy. He can't really create anything on offense, but for some reason he gets minutes out there. And like you said, Sage, I'd rather have a Quinn Post in there or somebody else in the rotation, a young guy. I don't know about Kevin Knox. That was kind of out of nowhere. Is he even on the roster? Is he down in Santa Cruz right now? Yeah,
I think he's in Santa. He wasn't on the bench today.
Yeah, I don't think he was on the bench today, but not a good day by Guy Santos either. Overall, just a terrible game for the Warriors. Now you got tomorrow, Sage. You got Giannis coming to town, who, if Jokic is the number one guy we don't want to see, Giannis is probably number 2.
I'd say Giannis is 3.
Who would you put at number 2?
I don't know what it is, Anthony Davis. I never want to see Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
ever.
AD fucks us up always.
I don't know what it is about Anthony Davis, where I just feel like I feel like we actually have success against the Bucks for whatever reason. I feel like we always play them well. We know how to play them. I think Anthony Davis gives us more fits than anyone else, other than Jokic. I'd say Jokic.
I feel like I've been to like 3 games at the Chase Center where they played Giannis, and I think they've won all of them. So I think you're kind of right.
They're kind of on a roll against the Bucks. I mean, I think they lost to them once last year. They swept them 2 years ago. I think they beat them. Yeah, they beat them this year. Yeah, with Jimmy, they beat him, but no Giannis that game. So I think tomorrow's a good opportunity, man. It's not official. They said they're leaning that Steph's not going to play, which I think that means Steph's not going to play. But you never know, man. Like tomorrow, you could gain everything back that you lost today. Like tomorrow's just a new opportunity, right? Like Trae Young tweets every day, like another day, another opportunity. So you got to get it back tomorrow. Even if you just play them tight and you look like a formidable basketball team, then you can get some respect back. But what you put on the court tonight was bullshit. It was bullshit. It was disrespectful to the fans. The Nuggets started it, by all these fans paying a bunch of money. I looked to go to the game. I'm so glad I didn't. Show up. Oh, no Jokic, no Murray, whatever. We paid all this money, but at least we get to see an easy Warriors win. No, your team lays a shit on the court. You can't do anything right, and you lose a game you have to have. So gain it back tomorrow, get some momentum going, and then build it as you stay for. I think this is the last game of the homestand, or you got one more?
I think you got one more. I think you got one. Let me check right now.
The Raptors, and then you go to Atlanta, right?
No, I think you're skipping a couple. But the Chase Center did not get into the game, I think, until around that fourth quarter. It was quiet all night, but you can't blame them. I mean, the Warriors really didn't give them anything to root for the entire game.
Yeah.
Like I said, Sage, I kind of wish that you watched the NBC Sports broadcast because Fitz
I didn't have the option.
Fitz was getting on. You didn't have the option? Oh, you still got Dish?
I got both, but I just go Dish because it's faster.
Yeah, but Fitz, I mean, the entire time Aaron Gordon was cooking the Warriors, when he was hitting threes, he was like, second best three-point shooter in the NBA all year. I think he said it like 8 times. Like, okay, we get it. But he hasn't shot enough threes to even be, I guess, what could you say? Like considered to be one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Like qualify, right?
Yeah, he's not even qualified, but he kept on saying that. I don't know. It wasn't a great day by Fitz and Buki today. I saw a list, Sage. I saw a list. I didn't even know this. I mean, I like Fitz. I liked Buki, but they were rated as the worst broadcasting crew in the entire NBA.
Yeah, it's just not true, bro. There's so many terrible ones out there. I have league as a guy who has league pass and watches.
There are bad ones, yeah.
There are some terrible ones. I'm telling you, there are some absolutely terrible ones. Fitz and Kalena are not that bad. I will say though, they love to just like say something and hook on to it, right? Like when they play the Thunder, it's always Arkansas Jalen Williams, Santa Clara Jalen Williams. Like they think it's so funny, it's a little inside joke. Every time we play the Timberwolves, it's like, can't let Naz Reid get the ball. Like we got to stop Naz Reid. Oh, look at it. Naz Reid's in the paint. Naz Reid's scoring against the Warriors. Stop me. It's they got to like, learn to move on and call a game like a professional. Look at a Mike Breen. Do you know who I love is the Sacramento guy? Jones.
I haven't really listened to him at all.
But he does national broadcast too. He called the Western Conference Final. He's the guy who called.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He's the guy who called game 1 and 2. It's like Mark Jones, right, or something like that.
Yes. No, that guy's good.
Yeah.
I remember I saw that he was a Sacramento guy. I'm like, this guy, what the fuck is he doing in Sacramento?
Yeah.
That guy's got to be like in New York, some major market, but he is good. But Sage, my bad. You were right. So they got Milwaukee on Tuesday. Then the last game of the homestand, Toronto on Thursday. Then you go to ATL, you go to Magic City on Saturday. And then Tuesday, Jimmy Butler's return to Miami.
Yep. It gets easy. It gets easy. That's why, God, man, fuck. That's why I really wanted to. I think they win this game.
It's a kick in the dick losing this one. It's a kick in the dick losing this game for sure.
It's like, God damn, bro. It's so frustrating because you were really poised to go on a run where the 2 seed was looking like it was. I'm not saying it was in sight, but it was a possibility. I think
Hold on. You were saying Dubs 2 seed?
3 games out, 3.5 games out.
Yeah, that's true. It's really tight in the West right now. It's really.
And you're gonna play everyone once. Like you just got to take care of business. Where it's like it's yours to lose. Right now, it's kind of done. Just don't fall past the 6. You're fine. At this point, get to the playoffs healthy without having to, go play an extra game or 2.
So, yeah, right here. So now you have Houston in the 2 spot, which I don't know how long that's going to last. They're tied with Denver
today.
They're tied with Denver right now. So it seems like Houston has the tiebreaker on them. The Lakers, are they winning? Do we know if they won today?
Lakers won. They beat the shit out of the Spurs.
Lakers won, so they're at the 4 spot, but they're tied with Memphis, who's at the 5th. And the Warriors are now tied with the Timberwolves in the 6, 7. So everything's really close.
We got the tiebreaker over the Timberwolves, which is nice, though.
We do, but Sage, it isn't. I mean, they lost today. That was a big loss, but I think they have one of the easier schedules coming down the stretch too. So they're gonna keep on coming on. And even though that we have an easy schedule coming up, we're on the road. Steph, can I say it? I mean, I said it a couple days ago, but I don't think he looks the same. I think there's something off with Steph. I know it's the back, but it may be something not bigger than what we're being told, but it's something that's hampering his play. He's not playing like he did the past 3 weeks over these last 3 games, in my opinion.
No, 100%. It's the back. I mean, Steve Kerr said he looked tired today, and I think he is tired. I mean, he's lifted the load, right? Like, even with Jimmy here, like, Steph's been doing a lot, like 30-point game. He's taking like 20, 21 shots a game, is it? His minutes have gone up. He's playing 33 minutes a game since Jimmy's gone here. I don't even know how that's possible when it feels like we're blowing out everyone. And he's tired, man. I mean, he's old. He's tired. You got a back-to-back. You had Draymond's birthday last week. You had his birthday you had Draymond's birthday 2 weeks ago, his birthday last week. These guys aren't getting rest on their off days. They're partying. They're going hard. So I think this is a good reset. You rest him tomorrow. He gets Wednesday off. Thursday, you're at home for Toronto, and then you go to the road. You don't play again until Saturday. And then after that, you don't play till Tuesday. So you have some extended rest coming up, right? Take advantage, pick your spots. Got to know when to rest him. Try and cut. Like, that was the thing. I was getting so frustrated. I was like, okay, we got the back-to-back tomorrow. Like, you chose to play Steph. Maybe we could blow him out. Maybe he could rest the second half, the fourth quarter. The exact opposite happens. Plays, what was it? I'll pull it up here. Played 36 minutes, led the team in minutes, and now he's not going to play tomorrow, and you get the L. So it's just frustrating, man. It's the NBA. Shit happens, but when you're this late in the season and you're looking, eyes on the prize, you can't let this happen.
You can't let it happen. I do agree. I think Steph's a little bit tired. It's been like a playoff level intensity the past 10 games, right? I mean, it seems like they got rejuvenated, but after getting rejuvenated and you're on that high for about 15 games, it feels like the body's just trying to catch up. It just looked like the Nuggets had more energy all day. You're going up against a big team in Milwaukee tomorrow. I don't want Steph to get beat up. I say you just sit him, play him Thursday. It's going to be one game. You probably lose it, but you still got about, 12 to 13 games left in the season. There's going to be more games coming up, and you want to make sure that Steph's healthy, and there's no lingering bullshit happening as you're going to make this home stretch to try to at least get out of the play-in, but maybe try to get into that 4-5 slot. One of those two.
Yeah, it seems like that might be out of reach, though, now. I mean, I get it, but it's just I feel like we have a tough schedule to end it. You're going to see the Lakers still. I just feel like now the Nuggets have the tiebreaker on us. Lakers also have the tiebreaker on us, so we're going to have to actually clear them to jump them. And I don't know how possible that is. I mean, 24 games left. Anything could happen. But
Brogdon's coming back. I don't know about 24. Let me see right here. So
39
I think it's at 68. So you have 14 games left.
Wait, what? Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, you have 14 games left. Only 14 games left.
Okay, I said 24. I was off 10. Okay. Bad math there. But, yeah, okay, 14 games left, 4 games back. It doesn't feel possible, to be honest.
Yeah, that's hard to catch up to. That's hard to catch up to for sure.
You got to just, like I said, get in healthy, focus. I mean, Chase, you got to hope, man, like, recapture this momentum. You don't want to be the team that peaks too early. You don't want to be the team like the Lakers were 2 years ago, where after the trade deadline, you peak and you flame out early in the playoffs because you were tired. You want to be like the Mavericks last year, where You build at the trade deadline, you keep going up slowly, and you just keep getting better and better. You keep growing as a unit, which is what I think they're showing more of that than they are the Lakers, where it's like the Lakers were the 10 seed. They pushed all the way to get up, where it happened with the Mavericks, but you saw it. They had a guy like Luka carrying them. They could go to different guys on different nights, different guys to lead them in different series, whether it was PJ Washington, Kyrie, Derek Lively, and then Luka most of the time. The Warriors have that. They have Moody. They have Steph. They have Draymond. They have Jimmy, right? They have a bunch of guys. So keep building, keep integrating these parts. Pods is coming back soon. You got Kuminga now. You got Moody playing better. GP2 post. These guys are just getting better. So keep building, man. It's not about just losing today. You're due to lose. You got to respond.
It's a loss that stings, but Sage, coming down the stretch, it's going to be us in Minnesota. Minnesota's looking a lot better, but if you're a Dubs fan, whenever you're watching a Warriors game, you got to make sure you know what's happening with Minnesota because
their loss
even though the Warriors are
bad.
Even though the Warriors are playing great, like Minnesota could clean up the last 14 games, and even if you go at a clip like 10-4, you're tied right now with Minnesota. I think they've been 9-1 at least in the last 10. They were just on an 8-game winning streak before tonight, so you just got to make sure that that you're as hot as the Timberwolves and that you can't have any more losses like that. You got to take care of business in situations like this, but it's not the end of the world. It sucks, but you just got to make sure that you get out of that playing spot because if you're slotted at 7, you're probably going to likely get faced up with Denver if you get out of the play-in. So not only do you have to win that 7-8 matchup, then you get a first-round matchup with Denver, which after watching today, we don't want any part of. So it's going to be a race. It's going to be a race, and it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, best part about basketball is you're right back at it tomorrow. So plenty of time to, rest on our laurels, whatever, and then just, tomorrow right back at it.
Tough one tonight, Sage, but in all honesty, man, the greats. They got to go through with these post-game shows. It can't all be 7-game win streaks. It can't be 14-1. Like I said a couple weeks ago, I'm like, I don't want this high to stop, but the high stopped. We gotta temper our expectations a little bit. We gotta settle back, but I think that's gonna be it for the stream today, Sage. We wanted to keep it to about 30 to 40 minutes. Anything else for the people before we hop off here?
Nope. You know where to find us: YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Twitter, Westbound Down Pod. Search it up. You'll be able to find us.
If you like what we're putting out, like and subscribe on YouTube. Like Sage said, Twitter, TikTok, all that nonsense. I don't know when we're going to be back, Sage. I mean, any Niner stuff really going on? I mean, Kyle Juszczyk is now back. What else? There was another big signing that I'm kind of forgetting.
Nothing really. It seems like they're just bolstering up the special teams. They got a tight end, and they've been bolstering up the special teams. Niners are dead. Niners are as dead as dead.
I think that's the conversation that the people want right now because you're getting a little bit antsy over there. I feel like I'm calm, cool, collected. I get that everything's going to be going through the draft. You're like the majority of Niners media right now. Niners media is fucking going after Lynch and Shanahan.
I mean, dude, like they're doing nothing. Like it's sad. It's sad to see like what's happened to my once great team. That 2023 team there's no resemblance of it anymore. It's gone.
I mean, what do you mean there's no resemblance? I mean, we still got key cornerstone pieces all across that lineup.
Yeah, they're 2 years older and more injured.
Okay, but this is the thing. Okay, we're going to get off of this, but it seems like a lot of people came in saying, okay, the Super Bowl window's closed. They're washed. We're old. We're injury prone. And now they're trying to kind of go for a reset year where they get a lot of money off of the books. They get younger. And then that same crowd is pissed that they're doing this. It's like there's a no-win scenario.
Well, no. I'm just saying like for this year. I'm not saying for the future. I'm just saying like this year's cooked. They can't win the Super Bowl this year. Unless they
I disagree, dude. Look at that schedule, man. Like if you get into the dance,
that's the only thing. That's the only thing that's holding us up is we're gonna be like an 11-5 or an 11-6 team, and then we're gonna get blitzed in the playoffs. That's exactly what's gonna happen. I can see it from a mile away.
So wait, you're saying we're gonna be like a Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin?
No, I was gonna say like
we're gonna get 11 wins and then just get fucking ran in the wild card.
I was like thinking we're going to be like the Cowboys almost. Like we're going to ride an easy schedule. And then when we play a contender in the playoffs who actually has like some good trenches, our trenches are terrible. You saw what beat the Chiefs. You saw what's winning in this league. You saw what the Lions had. The Chiefs got away with it because the AFC is kind of weak, but what's winning in the NFC? Trenches. When the Niners were good, what did they have? Trenches. The defensive line. Like they had all these like flashy offensive weapons, but at the end of the day, it was the defense. The O-line's getting worse. The D-line's gone way worse. I mean, right now, if the season were to start.
I mean, is the O-line really getting worse? You lost Aaron Banks, and somebody paid him $20 million a year. We didn't even like Aaron Banks. So
I would never pay him in a million years, but you didn't replace him. Your replacement is his backup.
There's still the draft. I mean, that's what it seems like. A lot of people think that they're going to use that first pick on an offensive lineman in the draft. So,
but if you do that, then your D-line sucks. So it's like you can't. It's like a lose.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah.
No, 100%. Yeah. That's why I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like if these guys lose, or if they lose out on these guys, but like address one side of the trenches in free agency, address the other in the draft. They didn't do anything in free agency, so they're banging on the draft. I have faith. That they can, get one or two, key pieces in the late round. You got to hit on that first round pick. If you do that, you get two guys late.
If you get a Javon Kinlaw, it's over.
It's over. No, 100%. It's over. Like if you draft the bust in the first round, like it's window shut because, I mean, unless you're top 5 next year and you get a top 5 quarterback, but
they're riverboat gambling. They're riverboat gambling right now, just kind of relying on those 11 picks in the draft. But like I said, we're gonna get to that combo a little bit later. That's gonna be it for the stream today, guys. Warriors lose to the Denver Nuggets 114-105. They're gonna be coming back against the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Probably without Steph Curry. That might be a loss too, but Thursday, you're going right back at it in the last game of the homestand against the Toronto Raptors. We're going to probably be coming to you later in the week with some updates on the Warriors, maybe anything going on with the 49ers. But for tonight, that's going to be it. We'll talk to you guys later.